The room was quiet again. Late morning light poured through the window lattice, bright and warm, cutting slow patterns across the tangled sheets and across them. Dust motes drifted lazily in the glow, suspended like time itself had decided to linger. Wei Ying lay sprawled half on top of Lan Zhan, cheek pressed to his chest, one leg hooked loosely over his thigh as if he belonged there by default. Their breaths were still uneven, chests rising and falling in mismatched rhythms that were slowly beginning to settle. Both of them were warm, skin flushed, bodies loose with heavy, languid exhaustion that came after giving in completely. Nothing separated them now, not misunderstanding, not fear, not doubt, not clothes. Just skin to skin, heartbeat to heartbeat. Lan Zhan's arm was wrapped securely around Wei Ying's back, holding him close with quiet certainty. His fingers traced slow, absent-minded patterns along Wei Ying's spine, unhurried, deliberate, like he was memorizing the shape of him all over again. His heartbeat was steadier now, but still faster than usual, still affected, still carrying that faint edge of overwhelm he hadn't bothered to hide. Wei Ying felt it. Of course he did. His fingertips drifted lazily along Lan Zhan's ribs, feather-light, teasing on purpose, just enough to draw a barely there hitch in Lan Zhan's breath. Wei Ying noticed. He always did. He pretended not to. Wei Ying muttered Lan Zhan's name, his voice warm with quiet amusement, the sound soft against his chest. And then he said it, easy, familiar, like it was the most natural thing in the world, that Lan Zhan was simply too much. Lan Zhan shifted beneath him just enough to tilt his head and meet Wei Ying's gaze directly, and then he asked, quiet, sincere, completely unguarded, how? Wei Ying pushed himself up onto one elbow, hovering over him, eyes bright with mischief and that unmistakable fondness. And the way he reacted, pure exaggeration, like he couldn't believe the question even needed answering. He threw it right back at him, asking if Lan Zhan would prefer the explanation alphabetically or chronologically. Lan Zhan blinked once. Wei Ying's grin widened at once. Clearly pleased with himself, he said he could start explaining immediately after breakfast, reminding Lan Zhan pointedly of how someone had been completely incapable of stopping himself from stealing kisses at every possible opportunity. To emphasize it, he reached out and gave his chest a little accusing poke, and then, because he was enjoying this far too much, he elaborated. His grin only grew as he repeated that he could easily begin his list from that very morning when someone, as he demonstrated again with another deliberate poke, had shown absolutely no restraint whatsoever. Color rose to Lan Zhan's ears almost instantly, a soft pink that betrayed him despite the calm composure he tried to maintain. That reaction was all the encouragement Wei Ying needed. Without mercy and very clearly delighted, he began listing locations one by one. The corridor, the garden, near the pavilion, each example deliberate with increasing theatrical disbelief. He even reminded him that there had been a kiss on the main path. The main path. He lingered on that one, emphasizing the sheer recklessness of it, pointing out how easily someone could have walked by. His tone hovered perfectly between scandalized outrage and unmistakable pride. Lan Zhan answered simply, his voice calm that no one had walked by. Wei Ying protested immediately, insisting that that was not the point. Lan Zhan felt quiet at that, appearing to consider his words with genuine thoughtfulness. After a brief pause, he answered in the same soft, honest tone that he had wanted to. Wei Ying stilled. For a brief heartbeat he only stared, caught completely off guard. His lips parted slightly, then slowly curved into something sharper, something far more dangerous. When he spoke again, His voice dropped into a softer, teasing murmur as he repeated the implication back to him, asking almost delighted whether Lan Zhan had truly wanted to kiss him senseless in public. Was that what Wangxian had become now? He leaned in closer as he spoke, eyes bright and sparkling with mischief, pushing just enough to see how far he could go. He wondered aloud if this meant Lan Zhan had grown clingy, shameless, perhaps completely incapable of keeping his hands off him. And then the words cut off. Lan Zhan's hand slid to the back of his neck, firm and warm, fingers settling there with quiet certainty. In one smooth motion, he drew Wei Ying down until their foreheads touched, erasing the distance between them. Slow, controlled, possessive in a way that didn't need force to be felt. Whatever Wei Ying had been about to say dissolved instantly. His breath caught as Lan Zhan held him there, steady and unyielding, their warmth mingling in the narrow space between them. And the look in Lan Zhan's eyes, molten, soft, steady, burning with something quiet and certain that twisted painfully in Wei Ying's chest. Wei Ying swallowed. When he spoke again, his voice dropped into something huskier, threaded with teasing as he pointed out that for someone who prided himself on restraint and refinement, Lan Zhan had been remarkably clingy today. Lan Zhan answered not with words, but with movement, his hand sliding slowly down Wei Ying's back, palm warm and grounding. A quiet hum followed. Wei Ying huffed, feigning annoyance, telling him not to respond with such vague sounds. He reminded him dramatically that someone had pulled him back into bed twice. Twice. Did Lan Zhan have any idea how suspicious that might look? With exaggerated emphasis, he waved loosely to their naked state, pointing out how incriminating it all looked. He declared that Lan Zhan had practically claimed him. Lan Zhan did not hesitate. Without the slightest flicker of doubt, he stated that he had. Wei Ying blinked. His breath caught so sharply it almost hurt. Lan Zhan held his gaze, eyes unwavering, golden in the light, filled with a warmth that burned slow and deep, settling somewhere dangerous and permanent. He repeated it quietly, that he had claimed him, and that he would continue to do so. Wei Ying's heart gave a violent flip in his chest. He attempted to scoff, to brush it off with his usual effortless bravado, but the sound that emerged was breathless and far weaker than intended. The protest stumbled over itself as he insisted that Lan Zhan could not simply say things like that, his voice betraying him even as he tried to reclaim control of the moment. Lan Zhan's lips curved, only slightly, only enough to make the change visible. It was a small expression, restrained as always, yet devastating in its effect. Just enough to throw Wei Ying off balance. His thumb brushed lazily across Wei Ying's hip, slow and deliberate, sending heat curling through him as he reminded him calmly of the earlier accusation. Clingy. Wei Ying muttered that it was true. Lan Zhan replied just as calmly that he was warm. Wei Ying's ears burned at the words. He tried to argue, said Lan Zhan kissed him too much. Lan Zhan answered simply. Wei Ying kissed him back. That didn't help. Wei Ying shot back, flustered, accusing him of dragging him into bed twice. Lan Zhan remained completely composed. His thumb traced along Wei Ying's waist again, slow and certain as he pointed out that Wei Ying had come willingly both times.